Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to show you guys Spiderfoot, and Spiderfoot is one of my favorite tools, so I'm going to walk you guys through it. This is 10-minute tutorials. If you guys like Spiderfoot, please hit a like below. Subscribe to the channel because, as you know here, we are all about progressing the profession and progressing cybersecurity and helping people learn. All right, let's hop into it. So, first things first, this is what Spiderfoot looks like. We're going to minimize this and we're going to get to it, okay? So, this is what it looks like here. And what this is basically, this is the web server running. So we'll go ahead and open a new terminal. Now, first things first, there's a couple of commands that I need you guys to run. So let me open this up and get the commands for you. So this is, if you've never used Spiderfoot, this is their GitHub. So what is GitHub? It is a repository where you can go ahead and upload your whatever you make, and then people can download it and use it. So you can see here, here's the stable build. So if you want to use the stable build, here's how you install it. If you want to use the development build, which might have features that they're still trying to tweak, there it is there. So you just need to use wget, download the tar file, untar it, unzip it. Then you go into the directory, install the requirements, and then boom, you can run the Python script. So what you do, simple enough. I'm in the directory and I would run that Python script. Now, when I run that Python script, what's going to happen is, if we open that back up, what's going to happen is, you can see here they're specifying they want it to run on the local host and they want it on port 5001. You can put this on whatever port you want. So don't necessarily do 5001 if you don't want to, but you can put it on that port if you want. So if you follow this exactly, then when you run this here, it will run something like this, and it will look more like, let's see if we can find it here. There we go. So you can see I ran all these commands, it tarred them, and I want to make sure that I get you guys, here we go. Downloading, okay, that's when it's installing the prereqs. And if you guys have never used Spiderfoot, it's an awesome tool. I recommend it 100%. Okay, it doesn't really matter what you see. This is the point. You're going to see this. This is the web server running. If you close that, the web server closes. So do not close that. Just minimize it. Go ahead and run your command. And I will put the GitHub description, or the GitHub page in the description. Now, here's how you use Spiderfoot. If you don't know what Spiderfoot is, first off, it's an open source tool that is absolutely incredible. It's like Maltego on easy mode, if you guys have ever used Maltego. So what you're going to do, these are my scans I ran. Now, I ran one against TryHackMe because that's what we're going to use. And you can see it says abort requested. Now, the reason for that is because this will take a long time. And I'm talking like it can take a day or two to actually run. So we'll go ahead, and if we hit new scan, you can say, do you want passive? You don't want the target to even suspect that they're being investigated. What that's going to do is that's not going to touch the target. It's only going to go ahead and do open source, meaning public information. It is not going to touch the target. All may do some requests to the target. It may try and reach out and say, hey, we want to do a DNS zone transfer. We want to scan something. It may do that. So know what you're doing. Now, you'll put the name of your target. You'll put the scan. So the name is the name of the scan. It's whatever scan you want. And then here you put whatever target domain you want. I put TryHackMe just because they probably get scanned all the time. Now, you can see here, here's my results. Now, here's why it's so cool. Watch when I click this. Okay, so here's a summary. We'll go to the summary. You can see here, this is a summary of the information they got for us. So it looks like they've got a lot of linked URLs internally. So let's go to correlations, browse. Okay, so you can see we have IP addresses. We have 64 IP addresses affiliated with this. Okay, we have, let's see, we have blacklisted IP addresses, 7 of them. We have co-hosted sites, meaning sites that are hosted with them. DNS records. I mean, this is a ton of information, right? Now, here's where it gets crazy, but really cool. Look at this graph. Okay, this looks crazy, right? You can see this is the tryhackme.com. I can pull it over here. and you can see all these things are linked to it. Look at this. So, no, that one wasn't actually linked to it. So this GSAR rangech.org, that is linked directly to it. And that means maybe, just maybe, if we were a hacker, we could get this box first and then have communication channel to tryhackme.com. Now, all of that is this is all for pen testing and legal purposes only, but I want you to understand how important this information is. Look at this IP address that it found. This IP address has a direct communication link to it, but also has a direct communication link to this. So who's to say I don't hack into this, use that to hack into this, and then I have direct access to tryhackme.com. You can see how these correlations can get really, really, really powerful very quickly. Now, if we go to, let's see, I'm not going to go to so it found hashes as well. So you can see if you go to hashes, it found MD5 hashes here. And these are pastebin hashes. So I'm sure TryHackMe already knows about these, so that's why I use them as an example. You can see that they found hashes on pastebin. They found DNS records. So the DNS records, there's 2 text records here. I mean, the amount is just insane. Email addresses. You can see they found these email addresses. Now, mind you, I ended this early. So the results you might get are different than the results that I got because I ended this super early because I just wanted to give you guys something to see and let you guys play with it yourselves. Now, with scan settings, you can enable and change a lot of these settings as well, so make sure you know what you're doing. But you can see it's just the amount of information you get from this is absolutely insane. You could run this on your target as a pen tester, and you may already have a way in, and you don't even realize it. So I try to keep this under 10 minutes. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Play around with Spiderfoot. It's an incredible tool. I recommend it for everybody that's doing OSINT, and I think you guys should check it out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you guys prefer this, Maltego, what do you prefer? Let me know. And make sure you guys like the video. Make sure you subscribe. We are freaking skyrocketing, and that's all thanks to you guys. Check out the Discord. Thanks, guys, and have a great day.